Yo, boys, back again. Thank you for checking this video out, much appreciated. Today's video, I'm gonna be replacing the power steering gear on my 2002 Dodge Ram diesel Cummins 2500 pickup truck.
You are tuned in to Ryan Campbell, Soup to Nuts.
Welcome back to a day in the life. Hopefully it's a good day. I don't know yet, because I don't know how the hell this is gonna go. Anybody's guess. Anybody. Guess down in the comments, because it's anybody's guess. I like all of them. So I'm gonna be replacing the power steering gear in the truck here situation, because it's leaking. It's leaking kind of somewhat bad, enough that I'm like checking it every like 2-3 days and having to add power steering fluid. So I mean that's a fairly considerable leak. And also, you know, for the people that don't know, in this truck, the power steering also stupid I hate crickets. I fucking hate crickets. In the truck here, fucking shut up. Might have to go on a murder spree. Might have to happen. The truck, the power steering also provides power for the power brakes, and so if the power steering fluid completely disappears, I lose my power brakes as well, along with the actual power steering, obviously. So it's like a double fun. Double the fun when shit hits the fan. So let me get you under there and show you what has to be done. Here you can see the leaky fluid. Let me get a little leaky fluid. You see, I just parked it here like 10 minutes, actually 15-20 minutes ago, and it's already a little puddle here. So this guy is leaking. I suppose maybe it's rebuildable. I don't know. I don't really have an idea, but I'm replacing the damn thing. So this is the power steering gear. It's kind of like part of like the power steering rack in like most regular cars. This here is a linkage that goes to the I forgot the name of this bar. It's like, let's call it the steering bar for now, I guess. To the steering bar! And then to the tie rod ends. The bar hooks to the tie rod ends here. So I gotta disconnect that. Then that's that right there. That's the steering shaft that comes down from the steering wheel. So I gotta disconnect that there. And then after we get that taken care of, and then on top, it's really hard to see even with the camera. There's two lines that plug in, especially because it's like really dirty right now. There's two lines that plug into the top that have obviously the power steering fluid from the pump. And then there's 4 bolts that actually mount this to the frame. So we got a bolt here, we got a bolt right here, and then bolt right there. Maybe it's 3 bolts, I'm not sure. Get all that disconnected and boom, pop it off. Pop new one back in. That's what she said. So I'll bring it along, like bring the video back in like step by step when I get each thing. So this is like a 32mm nut or something. I replaced this not too long ago, so that's why I had to actually order a socket because I didn't have the big enough size. So I'm gonna pull that off. I might even have to pull that off, possibly. It's a possibility. I'll pull that guy off up there. I'll bring it back, show you what I had to do there. And then pop the lines up off top, and then pop these off. I'll get started and bring you back. Color me pink and lick my nipples. It's going so far. I got a couple things done. So far, so good. We're making some progress. And so I'll show you what got popped off and what's next. What's popping off, son? I don't know. Basically got this arm disconnected. It's just sitting in the rack there, but I did have to loosen it to move it around. It popped apart pretty easily. I did replace this arm maybe a year ago, or give or take. I don't remember exactly when, but this was a major bitch to get apart when I replaced this. But I guess since it hasn't been too long, it hasn't like frozen back. So I did pop that nut off, got that all loosened up. I popped this nut off, and then I did have to use the puller to kind of like, this was up on here. So I had to use the puller to kind of pop it down, but once it did the pop, it wasn't too difficult. I was able to kind of manhandle a little bit. Wasn't too big of a pain, thank the Lord. So got that guy out of the way. Now up here, this is the universal joint for the steering column for the rod coming from the steering wheel down to here. It was just one bolt. It was pretty easy to get to. You can see the threads kind of there, right there is where the threads are. So one bolt comes right out. I think it was like a 13mm or something. Slightly odd size, but whatever. So I took the bolt out, came out no issues whatsoever, and that popped off very easy. I thought I was gonna have to freaking go crazy, get tool, freaking pickle forks, all sorts of shit to get it off. But I just kind of grabbed it, twisted it a bunch, kind of shook a little bit, and then it popped up. So that was pretty nice. And you can see where kind of the pinch is, where there's like a gap. That's where the screw goes through to kind of clamp down. And right there's like a flat side on the shaft. I'll show you on the new one. So that's like for your alignment purposes. But I'm trying to keep it basically lined up the way it was. So now let's pop up top. Now up top, you see as the battery is top. So you just kind of get like where it is. This is like the intake. This is the intake. This is the driver's side of the engine. Now there's a bunch of crap here, and I can't get the camera too close to show you what I gotta do. But there's two lines. This line that I'm kind of shaking, you can see right there, there's a nut that goes right into the top of the steering gear. That's the gear, like right there I was working on. And then you kind of see sort of right next to it, right kind of there's another line coming in that has a similar type of nut that I gotta break off. So I gotta find a way to get my hands in there to get those two off. Then I gotta break them loose, and it's gonna leak everywhere, and that's fine. That's the next hard part. The other three bolts should be fairly easy, and it should come off. So this is the difficult part right here, just getting situated. Just trying to get my hands in there and trying to figure it out. I go from the top, bottom, side, left, right, insert, insert, in, insert out. Well, hopefully this isn't too bad. It's gonna make a little mess, but I'll get it done. Once I figure out the best way of doing it, I'll come back and tell you the best way to position my hands, whatever. It'd be nice if I was like Gumby or some shit right now. Back at it like a crack addict. So there's one of the lines. That was one of the nuts, and I'll show you where I had to take this off really to get this whole thing. I don't know if this is supposed to kind of spin independently of the line or not, or if it's frozen or not, but I don't have a new line right now, so I'm working with this. So it's spun all together. That's why I had to take this off this end, so that way I could, just do one of these. Just hold the line up straight and spin the whole damn thing. That came off of right here. This is the power steering fluid reservoir, and so it's like a little line that comes right off the back. So I took it off there. That was a line that was like closest to the frame rail, closest to me. And then there's the other line. It wasn't too bad. You definitely need one of these guys, a flare nut wrench. It was an 18mm flare nut. If you don't have the flare nut wrench, you're gonna strip the nut, and pretty much it's gonna happen. If you just try to use like an open end wrench, it's gonna strip. So this is a lifesaver. Once it broke loose, they spun freely. If I had, it would have helped a little bit. It would have gone out a little bit quicker. After I broke it, it would have came off, spinning it the rest of the way. It would have been a little bit faster if I had crow's feet. Also, stubby wrenches would have helped. Neither of which I have, so I need to get more damn tools. Please follow, subscribe, all that good shit so I could buy more tools and start making money off of this crap. Help a boy out! So got the two lines off. Now it is time to unmount the whole damn thing. I already showed you the bolts. They're kind of down under there. They're down under, on the bobby. I gotta take these 3 bolts. I did confirm that it was 3 bolts. It's 1, 2, and then there's a third one down here. I'll show you also the flat spot that I told you I was going to show you earlier. This is where the steering column plugs into this steering gear. So here's the flat spot that the steering shaft, column, whatever you want to call it, plugs right into. I'll show you side by side of how horrible the old one looks compared to the new one, and I'll throw the new one back up. It's reverse of everything that I just did. I mean, I didn't take the 3 bolts out yet, but you get what you picking up what I'm putting down or what? Woo! Woo! So there's the new one, there's the old one. Oh, a big damn difference. See how filthy that damn thing is? Ugh! Ugh! Obviously, I'm fibbing a bit to you. So here's the brand new one, obviously, and there's the filthy, disgusting one. It looks like a grease monkey took a big old donkey shit on this thing. I mean, it's like a 1/4 inch of grease and shit here. Ugh! Ugh! So, time to throw the new cow up and in. Cha! Your boy's been busy off camera. Yeah. I had to do some extra work that I wasn't anticipating, but I got it done. I'll show you what I had to do, so that way if you run into this situation, you can kind of get a little bit of a clue what to do. First off, you start by kicking the old gear. F you, F you. It's still leaking, look at that shit. You got the old gear bolted back up in tight. Got these bolts in tight. This arm was the biggest pain. It was not fun whatsoever. Whatsoever. What I had to do, I had to jack it up, jack to unload the suspension so that way the arms could drop a little bit. I had to take off these 2 bolts right here, which is for like a stabilizer arm, for lack of a proper term. Take that off so that way the whole arm, steering rod, whatever the hell you want to call it, can swing around. So I had to do all that, and then to line it up, I kind of had this like semi popped into place, and then to line this up, because this has to be lined up perfectly for it to slide on over the gears. Over, so you can see there's gears here, or splines actually. I'm sorry, not gears, splines. So what I did is I kind of turned the wheel, the tire a little bit with my hand. So that way it gets the exact right angle. Then I was able to kind of, hammer it on a little bit. And then I was able to bolt it up, and we're good to go. Got both lines tightened down. I did put this one on first before I put the gear up. The low pressure line, the one that's closest to the frame rail, I put it on first before I put the gear back up. Makes it easier. The other one I put on after it was up wasn't too bad. And I got this one back on here. I'm sorry for the crap lighting, but I got the low pressure hose feeding back into, I believe it goes into the back of the power steering reservoir. Finished up on Big Bertha here. It was a real pain. Most of it was actually not too bad. The real pain was getting that stupid arm back on. That was a bitch. All caps. All capital letters. Bitch. So all I have left to do is air out bleed out the system, get the air out of the system, take it for test drive. I'm confident I'm good to go though. That's why I'm closing the video out here. Don't click off yet. You probably did. It is what it is. What you gonna do? Stay tuned for more 350Z twin turbo videos. I got some new camera equipment. I'm still trying to figure it out and learn how to actually use it to make some cool videos with it, but that will be coming up soon. It's next on my list to take care of. I am starting to take it to shows and stuff like that, or meets, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't care what you call it. Call it pumpernickel bread for all I care.
Has nothing to do with nothing, but that's the story of this channel. It has nothing to do with nothing. It's what it is. That's also the theme of the night, is what it is. Without that, like this would be on fire. I was running for the can of gasoline and matches, and I was pissed. I was pissed at Bertha. That's not even what I don't even name my vehicles, but tonight it's Bertha. Bertha's gonna live with that. If not, here comes the gasoline and the matches. Oh, do all the good stuff everybody tells you to do. You know what to do. I appreciate all of it, like it, all that good crap. In the meantime, don't forget, drive fast, take chances.